it, but that's not a big deal. Okay, let's go find the... And wife and I didn't have any supper because knockdown, drag out, screaming match with the kids, the supper got burnt. So we're all really happy here today. Advantage with this tractor over the Valtras that we're using on Field Mountain is I've got to wait somewhere. Which means I can load the back of this thing up and I won't be pulling a wheel across the field. The stuff needs to be in the back of this thing. Oh, do I have any left? Oh, chips and dip for dinner. That's awesome. That's fertilizer, so good job. It's empty. So we did discover these bags could also be used from the ground. That's full. Yeah, we'll go down the road. How long we'll run for tonight, but we'll see. Okay, zoom out. Oh, that's way too far zooming out. Turn off. Stop wasting fertilizer. Oh, we actually got the edge. Oh, damn. You're a better guess than I thought it was. I believe I got it wrong. The top edge and wrong in the middle of the field. Oh. Oh, that would be why. I'm raising and lowering the weight on the front. Maybe enough buttons working the spreader. So, oh, we're going to have to come back into this field anyway. I don't think we have the width to hit the bottom of the field. Okay, right. Yeah, tiny bit at the bottom. Straight up the middle. Bit of a waste of fertilizer, but I'm actually finding, at least with this spreader, the fertilizer does go a long way. This time. Stop. Okay, that's one field done. Field is down here. Oh, close enough. I guess we'll find out. Looks like it might be. Okay. Easier doing this because we've got the planter rows that indicate where we head, so where the straight line is, approximately a straight line, at least. Oh, and we just fertilised that mixer. That's quite a significant overlap there. Into the canola, and we're going to be just in the middle of that tree. Let's try that. Just on the other side of that tree, like so. Oh, we have the grass field to do as well. I forgot about that. And straight through the fake burn. No, you weren't, and the reason is because the 1.4 patch hit, and that provided with a changed sound engine, and obviously an update of all the tractors in game. However, Giants have released a whole bunch of mod tractors, which were in game in 17. But they modded into 19 after the fact, and so they did sound updates on all of that machinery. So every single year, if you pay close attention to what mods need updating, they are all Giants powered machinery. Mod community, it's up to them to fix their own tractors. So apparently this tractor should sound a bit better. But yeah, I got rather stunned by that. I think it was Tuesday they released the patch and and patched all the mod tractors. Not Tuesday. When was it? Thursday or Friday last week. This is Tuesday today. Quite literally it was, how much? Oh my goodness. And then when I noticed it's half the tractors, that's odd. And then as you start clicking on update each of them, it's sort of, the mod was released by Giants. It's sort of, oh, okay. Well, I think in part, you know, if you look at, they introduced some new vehicles this year. So, for example, the Fiat's new, the Valtra A is new, I think the Favre is new, the Staras were part of the Platinum release, T5's been around for ages. This is an updated model, but we did have the Lin and Lint track in 17. Same with the 5600, the Armour track's new, the 300 Vario's old, the N is old. This was in 17 base game. So were the Agrastars. The Hurleyman was in the base game. The 8340 was in the base game. And so we did get new equipment, and obviously these tractors at the end, the Case 1455 XL, I think it was the Agrastar 661, the Hurleyman, and the 8340, they decided to add those back into the game later. So it wasn't in, you know, those models already existed in 17. They just had to bring it up to graphic standards of 19. But rather than do everything in 17 and move it all over as a, you know, in-game vehicle, they said, okay, well, we'll spend asset creation time with some new equipment, and you know, you can get the some of the older stuff. We'll patch that in. I mean, the one I was annoyed with that we didn't get was the Hurleyman XM40i, I think it is. It's kind of funny because just as Farm Sims 19 was coming out, I did a couple of videos on old, you know, Old Stream Farm in 17, and I did a how to start with the equipment you have and if you're playing with seasons. And for some reason I selected the Hurleyman XM40i and found it a very, very nice, versatile little tractor. Well, yeah, but you still need a standard tractor for a lot of stuff. And you need a standard tractor of all sizes. So, yeah, on this farm I'm using this Massey 5600. Because while it might be nice to have something bigger, I really don't need something bigger. What was it? This one. As I said, I haven't looked at this mod yet. I don't know how good it is. But you get a front loader. You've got the front 3-point, and I think you've got narrows and wide. So that's all. That's basically just the Farm Sim 17 option, and goes up to 176 horsepower, 107, 124. That's a big step up. T4i, T4i, T4i. So anyway, I decided I'd never use that tractor in the entirety of my gameplay of Farm Sim 17, so for one weekend only I decided I would use that one as my starting tractor, because it does everything you need it to do, much like this one, except this one doesn't quite have the horsepower of the Hurley. Yo, I would love to see some things like that. Yeah, I've seen some of those at our local fair, or summer parade, stroke summer fair, and it's really interesting. I actually saw, what's it, last year they had a sort of a front-mounted corn harvester on a tractor, and that was kind of interesting. I don't think I got a good picture of that. That was interesting to see. But yeah, old equipment. I love the old equipment, especially the steam-powered old equipment. But there are, people have speculated as far as Farm Sim is concerned that Giants get the license to produce stuff, and the stuff that they're licensed to produce is all the new vehicles. Which is why this tractor here, while it was available in 17, this is the probably 2018 model. And the same with a lot of the other tractors. They're the latest model that you can go out and buy, because effectively, I mean, these manufacturers are saying, yeah, we don't want people interested in our 1990 models because we don't sell those anymore. We want people to play this game and say, wow, that's an awesome tractor, I want to go out and buy one. So it is a, your manufacturers are going to be looking at this as a sales tool for their equipment. But because Giants has the license to do Massey Ferguson, it doesn't stop. What was it, last year Black Sheep Modding did an ancient Massey Ferguson pack, which went very well with this Old Stream farm. It was all lots of small tractors, the old two-wheel tractors, or two-wheel drive tractors with the small unpowered front wheels. I think Arthur did a playthrough with those, with that particular pack, with, I can't remember whether it was Micah or Kyle. But they pretty much did everything together because they had these tiny little tractors on sort of more modern, larger farms with 2-meter equipment. And yeah, one guy would have taken an entire day to plant a field or fertilise a field, so it was like two of them driving in tandem up and down the fields doing all the field work. Well, yeah, but then I consider myself ancient. But yeah, you're kind of talking 1980s, possibly early 1990s. Missed a bit there. Let's just do that bit anyway. And that's all 4 fields fertilised. Yeah, yes. I think I will probably keep fertilizer in the tank because we're going to have to go out again when the crop grows. Hey, we might even have some contracts we could do. It's a very bouncy farm. Yeah, before I got into farm sim, the equipment I was interested in is 30s and 40s. Before they started putting... well, we need to clean that up. Oh, we've got 2 of those. Let's check on the sheep status. Sheep. Oh, we need more grass. So we need more grass. And we didn't check what our grass field looked like. Fully fertilized and... oh, ready to harvest. Okay. So we've got some stuff to do. Let's check the contracts. Field 16, fertilizing with any type of fertilizer. They're paying quite well. Probably means it's a big field. Ooh, yeah. Big field of oats. And it's actually grown, so technically I should change the tyres on the tractor to go and do that one. Well, 7,000. Yeah, we're not doing sugar beets. Baling on 27. What's 27 look like? Oh, it's along the back of the farm. What are we turning it into? Silage bales. Oh, there's another baling contract on 34. It's way over there. Might do the fertilizing one just because it's paying quite decent money. And we're all loaded for it, so let's go do that. Go and explore the back end of the map, which we haven't done yet. Oh no, I understand that. It's just... yeah, I used to go to the country fairs to see the steam-powered tractors rather than the diesel-powered tractors. I don't want to buy a tractor because I have no need of tractors. Yeah, I remember one fair we went to. They were having a steam parade through the central arena of the fair, and it had been raining solidly for 2 weeks prior, and one of the steam tractors pulled up towards the arena and drove right through the deepest, muddiest area on the field and got stuck. So some guy decided, oh, I've got a Range Rover, I can pull that out, no trouble. Yeah, not really. Range Rover cannot pull 10 tons of steam engine, and so what ended up happening is they unhitched the Range Rover from the back of the traction engine, and the next traction engine that went past, they chucked him the rope, he hooked it over a part of the traction engine and pulled this other thing out with absolutely no trouble at all. So they don't really have much in the way of horsepower, however they do have a ton of weight behind them, so once they get rolling it's very, very difficult to get them to stop. Okay, we're doing 16. Yes, indeed. This is a big field. Wow. Yeah, the equipment is not set up for this field, I'll tell you that much. You can certainly fertilise it without too much trouble. Not the sort of thing I can harvest with my equipment. Well, technically I could, but really not so much. I missed the entirety of that left edge. I'm not sure whether we'll come back for that. This is all the big giant gas now. This is oats. There's the old railway line along the back. Well, you've got to remember, in the UK, your typical go-to off-roader is a Land Rover or a Range Rover. Range Rover is a little more deluxe version. Your Land Rover is literally usually a bench seat, maybe two. I mean, the ones I look for are things like a two-door, short wheelbase, which has enough room for a couple of bales in the back, and that's pretty much it. And I wish someone would produce some for Farm Sim, because it would make an awesome vehicle for all of the British maps. Range Rovers tend to be called Chelsea tractors, because upper middle class people live in Chelsea, and they all drive around in Range Rovers for absolutely no reason, except it's an SUV in the UK with UK roads. But they have the money, so that's what they do. I'm really not sure about how well I'm doing this field. Still not even halfway. We did all of our fields on one tank, on less than, well, from full, and we're coming down to about half full. That's approximately the direction I want to be headed in. because I should be using... I really miss the compass from 17. I have top middle of the screen. There is a compass on the map down to the bottom left, but it means taking your eyes off what you're looking at and looking right down to the bottom corner. At least with a top central compass, you are... yeah, everything's within your peripheral vision. You're not having to look too far from where you're driving. There we go. Yeah, looks like I missed a bit. Oh, setting up Truckers MP. How do you do that? I don't know. I might be able to. It's been a while. So I think you go to the website, download Truckers MP. The course of that, you create an account. You probably have to validate the account from they'll send you an email and you have to click on the link to validate the account or something like that. And then then you have to, if your games are set up in default locations, which actually mine weren't, I think Truckers MP automatically finds it. However, if you've installed it somewhere different, like your D drive, then you might have to tell it where the game is. Tell it which games you've got loaded. So if you're just ATS, just tell it about ATS. I think once you tell it where it is, it then just says, okay, fine, I'll just go and look in there, and it figures out what all you've got bought, what DLCs you're running. You have to do an update whenever you install new DLC. So it'll do an auto detect and say, oh, I've detected this, this and this. Do you want to include this on your Truckers MP session? And you say yes, and it'll say, okay, fine. You can now drive into Washington or wherever. And then the only other thing you have to watch for is if you're on auto update on Steam, Steam will update to the new release. So the recent one was 1.35, I think, whatever it was, and it takes a little while for Truckers MP to update. So your option is to opt into the beta program and run version 1.34 until Truckers MP get updated. But otherwise it's pretty painless. And then while you're at it, set up your World of Trucks account so that you can do World of Trucks contracts. That's helpful if you're playing Truckers MP, because then you can all do the same contract, because the World of Trucks server is creating the contracts to drive, and the freight contracts are generated by your own PC, so you will have jobs that nobody else has. Okay, 92% done, so let's find the gaps. I'm pretty much right by one. If we go straight north there, straight south there, straight north there, hopefully if we're lucky we'll get it all. Looks good. Let's drive down the street. And we'll check the contract again and then check for the next strip just ahead of us. Oops, contract again. 94%. So I'm going to go down this path here. It's difficult, but I can just about make out where I didn't go. And I think that's done. Yeah, we got that one done. Up to 96, so we're hitting about 2% per run. I think the next one might do it. Just have to spot it, and I'm not. That's still a little bit. There it is. So just past the tree. Hang off, and off we go. I don't think you have to sign up with World of Trucks, but it does help for multiplayer sessions like we do on Thursday, because we'll all use the World of Trucks content or contracts, and then everyone gets the same job to the same place. 99%. So looks like I missed a little bit behind where we are, and I still didn't get the message saying we're done. Let's stick it in reverse and spread backwards. Yay. Okay, got that bit done. Still 99%, still 99%. So it looks like I can... Oh, that bit there is probably good enough. Let's find it. I was just suggesting it's probably, easy to sign up for both at the same time. And we are done. Contract over.